Hey guys, Facebook Live update on the 2020 Alaska Airmen's Association Raffle airplane. I wanted to give you guys an update on the status of things with this particular aviation world in combination with the worldwide stuff that's going on. As most of you have heard, probably, the Great Alaska Aviation Gathering that was to be held on May 2nd and 3rd has been canceled. That's unfortunate, but the good news is that your Raffle airplane is still on schedule. So 4 o'clock, May 3rd, at this point in time, as we all know, things are changing daily, but as of right now, the Raffle is continuing on schedule. Not sure exactly what venue it's going to be at. It might be right here, it might be in Anchorage at the Airmen's. I'm not sure, we haven't figured all that out yet, but it will be raffled off. And I'm not exactly sure how many tickets are left, but I thought I heard something like less than 2,000 or 3,000 out of the original 14,000. So they are selling. April has always been the biggest sale month, so they are going to sell out. If you want your chance at winning this airplane, you need to buy your tickets now. To do that, all you have to do is pick up your phone, call 907-245-1251, and they will sell you a ticket right over the phone. With that said, another good reason, an even better reason now, to buy your ticket is because with the show being canceled, the Airmen stands to lose a significant amount of revenue from booth sales. So they're in the process of refunding a bunch of money, which eats into their operating budget that obviously they didn't have any plans for. So you can either just send them a whole bunch of money to help them out because they need you to stay in operation, or you can send them 60 bucks or 500 bucks for a pack of 10 tickets and have a chance of winning something like this, which would be amazing. This plane is probably one of the most emotional ones I've built because I love Cessna 180s, and I'm essentially building my dream airplane with everything I could possibly imagine on it and giving it away. So whoever's going to win this is going to be super stoked and lucky. I hope it's you or you or you. But anyway, that's the update on the status of things as far as the show and the raffle goes. In the meantime, I'll give you guys a sneak peek at what we got going on. Also, being that you're not going to be able to see this in person at the show, like 30,000 people love to be able to do, we're going to bombard you with all kinds of raffle plane stuff, showing you cool things that we're doing. We're hoping to maybe do a Facebook Live every day for a while, maybe every other day. But there's a lot of cool things, and I don't want to go into extreme detail right now so that we can save some of those cool things for other episodes. So with that said, a little tour of where we're at. The thing's coming along really well. We are almost at a standstill because we're waiting for a couple more items. Which, by the way, tomorrow we're going to do a Facebook Live and unveil something very cool that's going on this airplane that I think everybody's going to be excited about. I'm really excited about it, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. You're going to see it tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow. We'll put a scheduled live announcement out there so that you know when to tune in. But meanwhile, here's the plane in all its glory. It's out of paint. Everything you see on this paint scheme right now is actually paint. The tail number, even these little fine pinstripes are paint, which was, let's just put it nicely, really fun to do. So fuselage is done painting. Everything's essentially done painting. I don't think we have anything. There might be a couple little parts and pieces that we need to spray, but otherwise paint's done. As you know, throughout the build, everything has been fit and then taken off and cleaned, sanded, primed, painted, and now it's just essentially putting it all back together. So we've got the tail on, the horizontals have been put on, everything's been rigged back there, so all the control travels are proper, everything's been lubed so it's nice and smooth, everything's operational. And what else we got? We are rigging the tail wheel, which you might notice is the Landing Gear Works titanium stinger. We're going to change out this fork and put an angled fork on there to get a better angle on the steering. So that'll be happening in the next few days. Let's see, we can come around here and I'll show you guys the wings, which are half of the beast because they have so many awesome mods to them. There is a leading edge cuff on here that is a sportsman's cuff from Steen Aviation, and that droops the leading edge so that you get better lift capacity. Down at the tips we have a Wing X extension, which extends the wings, I believe about 18 inches a piece, so almost a full 3 feet overall. And it also increases the gross weight from 2,700 pounds to 2,950, which is a whole nother large American person that you can carry. The tips are Quasar wing tips from also Steen Aviation, and they're outfitted with LED lighting from Aero LED, including strobes, navs, and landing lights. We also, I don't know if you noticed on this wing, but we left the leading edge, the original leading edge landing and taxi lights in there, and those have been replaced with Aero LEDs as well. So this thing is going to be lit up like a Christmas tree, and there's no way anybody won't be able to see you day or night. Also hard to see because the wings are in their saddles kind of backwards, but there are vortex generators on them, so extra lift there. So this thing is going to be able to lift a lot, fly super slow, land short, take off short. And if you take a peek inside, I've shown you the instrument panel before. It's coming together. We're essentially done with all of the wiring except for the engine items, which I'll talk about here in a second. But all glass panel, not a single round gauge other than the compass, which FAA requires. But all that stuff is interconnected, and I'm going to probably spend a week figuring out how to run computers, but I will be happy to teach whoever wins this how to operate all that cool stuff. That's all mostly Dynon and JPI. There's also PS Engineering intercom installed, electro air ignition system, goes on and on. I think we posted some pictures of the cool trim wheel. It's actually billet aluminum milled by Bushwheel Bill. You can see there's a lot of wires that are going to be ultimately run out to the wings for stall warning, pitot heat, all the lighting. There's actually a remote compass in one of the wings so that we get a good solid compass reading on our glass displays. Windshield's in, we left the paper on to protect it. We'll pull that off right before she's ready to fly, just to make sure it's nice and unscratched. The baggage compartment, a little dark back there, but Selkirk Aviation was generous enough to give us an extended baggage compartment kit. So that's all installed and ready to go. And the landing gear is currently the original landing gear, and it's just a placeholder right now for the titanium gear from the Landing Gear Works, which will be going on once we get the wings on, so that we can jack the airplane up by the wings and more readily and easily change the gear out. Also, we don't want to scratch up that beautiful titanium, so we're saving that for later. And of course, the little tires are going to get replaced with Alaskan Bushwheel 29-inch heavy tread tires. Engine area. So we are preparing for the engine, which should be here next week, and that's coming from Lycon, who generously sponsored a complete overhaul on a 520, an 0520, which is an upgrade, more horsepower, and that went to Texas Skyways, where they did their mods to it in order to fit it on a Cessna 180, which originally came with a 470, lesser horsepower, smaller engine. See Steve's gascolators in there. Atlee Dodge beefed up our motor mount for us because it's going to have more horsepower, and it's also seaplane capable. So thanks to them for that, and they also sponsored the Firewall battery box. So we're wiring that in right now. And yeah, I think that's all I want to say right now, because we have a whole lot more cool stuff coming, and I want to save that for later so that you guys can stay excited about the Raffle plane and have good news in today's bad news world. So stay tuned for our next one, and get your tickets, get them while you can, because they're going to be gone soon. And we will talk to you hopefully tomorrow.